Before roads, Africa's rivers were its highways, living, moving pathways connecting distant communities. These waterways enabled travel, trade, and the sharing of stories, shaping the destinies of civilizations. Villages and cities flourished along their banks, drawing life from the water and fertile soil. People navigated these rivers with skill, exchanging goods and ideas across vast distances. The rivers carried more than trade. They spread languages, beliefs, and new ways of life. News and knowledge traveled at the speed of the current, creating shared cultures across great distances. Imagine a small boat, laden with goods and stories, gliding along shimmering water, a timeless tradition of movement and exchange. The river was a guide, a provider, and a storyteller, whispering tales of distant lands. Against this backdrop, profound changes unfolded, none more significant than the arrival of a new faith. On the Gambia River, the currents that once carried gold and salt would soon carry Islam. The river's gentle flow became the channel for spiritual transformation. Here, Africa's ancient arteries set the stage for a new chapter in history. The Gambia is defined by its river, a narrow nation hugging the Gambia River from Guinea to the Atlantic. This river, navigable for almost its entire length, became a natural corridor for connection, not a barrier. It linked coastal and interior communities, creating a dynamic network of trade and cultural exchange. Long before outsiders mapped the region, locals knew the river's rhythms and relied on it for food, water, and commerce. Goods and people moved easily, turning the river into a bustling hub of activity. Merchants from the Sahara and North Africa met local Mandinka people, creating a melting pot of cultures and ideas. The Gambia River's strategic importance made it a magnet for traders and a meeting point of worlds. Eventually, the same boats that carried salt and textiles would bring something more profound: Islam. The river's steady flow mirrored the peaceful introduction of a new faith to the Gambian people. Islam's arrival in the Gambia was peaceful, carried by traders and scholars between the 11th and 14th centuries. Berber and Arab merchants traveled with Trans-Saharan caravans using rivers like the Gambia to reach the interior. These traders, respected for their literacy and fairness, shared their faith through daily life and honest conversation. Local communities noticed their discipline and success, sparking curiosity about Islam. Scholars, holy men versed in theology and law, offered their skills as scribes, advisors, and teachers. Their literacy and wisdom introduced new ideas about justice, administration, and education. Islam became woven into the social fabric, not by force, but by offering new meaning and connection to a global community. The process was gradual. A family might first meet a trader, then invite a scholar, and over generations, embrace the faith. The Gambia River was the pathway for this journey, carrying the seeds of Islam deep into the heartland. The faith took root slowly, growing alongside existing traditions. Islam's spread was a gentle transformation, not a sudden revolution. The river's currents carried both commerce and belief, shaping a new spiritual landscape. Trade along the Gambia River was a vibrant exchange. Muslim merchants brought salt, textiles, and beads, while locals offered gold, ivory, and kola nuts. West African gold fueled economies across North Africa and Europe, making the river a vital artery in a vast network. Muslim traders, guided by Islamic law, introduced written contracts, standardized measures, and systems of credit. These practices streamlined commerce and built trust, benefiting local rulers and traders. Arabic became the language of trade and record-keeping, revolutionizing administration and law. Literacy allowed agreements to be recorded and histories to be written, giving new power to those who embraced it. Local rulers employed Muslim scribes, intertwining Islamic law and language with economic life. The practical tools of Islamic civilization paved the way for deeper acceptance of the faith. Commerce and belief became inseparable along the Gambia River. As Islam spread, local rulers saw its advantages: political alliances, economic ties, and access to goods like horses and weapons. Conversion elevated their status, connecting them to a global civilization and enhancing their legitimacy. Kings who embraced Islam gained prestige and could correspond with distant Muslim states. The conversion of elites set a new tone, with Islamic law influencing justice and mosques rising in capitals. Yet old traditions blended with new practices, creating a unique, West African Islam. Kings consulted both Muslim clerics and traditional spiritual leaders, ensuring smooth integration. The Mandinka states became key patrons, supporting scholarship and spreading the faith. The Gambia River carried Islam from royal courts to villages, uniting the region under a shared belief. With Islam established, the need for education grew. Quranic schools, or appeared along the Gambia River. Children learned Arabic and memorized Quranic verses, often under the guidance of traveling scholars called. These teachers were central to spreading Islam at the grassroots, serving as educators, healers, and advisors. The curriculum focused on religious texts, with students writing and memorizing verses daily. For many, this was their only formal education. The most promising continued to study law and theology, sometimes traveling to centers like Timbuktu. These schools made Islam accessible to ordinary people, not just elites. They became living vessels of knowledge, transmitting faith through teaching and example. The sound of children reciting the Quran became part of daily life along the river. This educational network anchored Islam deeply in Gambian society. From seed to mighty tree, Islam grew strong roots in Gambian soil. Today, over 95% of Gambians are Muslim, and Islam shapes daily life across the country. The call to prayer echoes from mosques, and Islamic festivals unite communities in celebration. Community leaders and remain influential, blending spiritual and civic roles as they have for centuries. The legal system reflects this history, with Sharia courts handling personal matters for Muslims. Gambian Islam retains its unique character, blending with local traditions and ceremonies, and daily customs. This syncretism has created a vibrant, tolerant culture, deeply Islamic, yet distinctly Gambian. The Gambia River, once a highway for trade, remains a cultural and spiritual anchor. Its waters remind the nation of its journey, a story of connection, not conquest. Islam's legacy in the Gambia is one of gentle transformation carried by the river's patient currents. The enduring power of the river continues to shape the nation's identity and soul. As the Gambia River winds toward the Atlantic, its story flows ever onward. Just like the living legacy of Islam in the Gambia, history, faith, and tradition move together, shaping a nation that welcomes new ideas while honoring its roots. If you've enjoyed this journey along the riverbanks of time, don't let the story end here. Subscribe to our channel for more untold tales from Africa's heartlands. Like this video if you learned something new, and share it with friends who'd love to explore the world's hidden currents. Let's keep the river of knowledge flowing together.